Hey, hey, what's up, guys? We are back with another review of The Last of Us in HBO. I'm not the Steve. I'm LDJ, and with me, always, it's Steve, aka Sabusa TV, aka the Bloater.
The
What's up,
bloater.
Fish?
Yeah, I just ate a huge hot dog, so it's pretty accurate. Not much. We're gonna talk about the fourth episode. Just heads up. There's gonna be an early episode this week for The Last of Us. Release is gonna be moved to Friday because they are trying to avoid the uh, biggest religion in the USA, and that's Super Bowl.
Football, yeah. So it's gonna be Friday, 9 Eastern time, right? So
Yeah.
regular time, just Friday. You can check episode 5. But today we are going to review episode 4, and spoilers. Steve wants to talk about it. So, do you want to do it like we did last time? Do you want to go over some steel frames so you
If you
feel?
want
I
to,
have it. I
we
have it
can.
here.
Okay, we can do that. And but okay, but you go first. I I will listen. I will listen as much as I can.
Okay, okay. So let me share it. It's okay. We can go over some steel frames just to have it fresh in our memories and talk about what we liked and we didn't like and how we felt about this episode. So this episode is called "Please Hold to My Hand." I think this is an old song, something like that title. So first scene, we have Ellie finding a gun, which is cool. It's nice. She's getting into some violence. Then we have some bonding time with Joe pumping some gasoline out of a car, and then some jokes. Did you like the jokes?
Yeah, the puns are always nice, especially when she finds that annoying book. Even in the game, you just sit there and listen to her, and Joe's like, "Oh my God, shut up."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The puns are nice. I like the puns. I love puns, as you know from our. I try to do like puns. Are they puns? Not really. But
No,
yeah,
for you now, they're not puns. They're dad jokes already.
dad jokes. Yeah, these are dad jokes. But yeah, so did you like this scene straight out of the game book where of the game where they are in the truck and she gets the magazine and starts joking about some porn?
Yeah, the
That's
guy having issues walking with that thing between his legs or whatever.
yeah.
But I didn't like. I guess it's weird that she just finds the magazine in the car out of nowhere just to keep up with the game, or at least to go frame by frame, because in the game you actually see her stealing the magazine out of Bill's house or Bill's stash. Here you don't see that, but it's okay. It's Bill's car, so well, I can go with that. But I was like, you could have done that in the house maybe, but didn't happen.
That that's what I thought. So I thought it was okay because this is Bill's car, right? And it's
Hmm.
and she finds it like in the back, like behind the car seat, where you have junk in your car or something like that. So it's plausible. It's plausible. Um, I love these scenes through mid US, going through all the nature, reclaiming all civilization. I really love all the details. My wife keep loving the color of these shots and of this series. So this was a great realization. Let's just say it. A great direction of art going on here. Obviously, most of this is a blend of reality with some CGI to look like a post-apocalyptic world. So I thought it was really nice. The realization how they accomplish it, and then we have like the woods, and the chapter is building up a lot of the dangers that they are going to encounter later around humans, right? So they Joel keeps hinting that, okay, now that we are far in the let's say far out of civilization, far into the open field, into these open areas. Now the problems are not necessarily clickers or infected. The problem are human beings, right? He's hinting that a lot, right?
Humans are always a problem.
Yeah,
So
humans are.
yeah, so that's fine. That's good. That was a good moment, yeah, in the woods, really quiet, and also showing how Joel is not okay with just sleeping because he knows he's been there, he's seen stuff.
He has
So
done
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So he's like, okay, you sleep, and he doesn't tell her anything. Obviously, she doesn't want to worry her, but it's a good hint, like you say, that things are not as okay. Obviously, they are not, but they are not as easy as she thinks they are going to be.
Yeah. Did you like the bonding of these first couple of scenes in the car, in the gasoline, and now in the woods? The bonding that we are seeing of Ellie and Joel. Do
Yeah,
you
the
buy it?
their moments are fine. I like them. I don't see a problem. Ellie is getting the thing. My main issue with this portrayal of Ellie, at least, or the way I see them, or the way I perceive her, is that she's like even more aggressive. Like she doesn't listen much, and sometimes it's like, shut up, you don't know shit. But I it's getting there. But when she actually pays attention to him, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, what you got, or let's talk, those moments are fine. But when she's being an annoying brat more than usual, is it gets hard, it gets difficult for me, at least.
Let me ask you something. So, have you felt like she's annoying because this character, right? This Ellie, because so far I haven't found her annoying. Well, if you don't like puns, you're not gonna like her
No,
in
no,
this
no.
episode.
The puns are. I enjoy them. Those stupid jokes, most of the times, 9 times out of 10, they get me. But it's, I don't know. It's me having an issue with her. But that's it's me. It's
It's because of the actress. It's because of the
I
actress.
don't I don't know. I don't know. I gonna get to that later. But
Okay,
you, yeah, you go.
let's
You go. Go.
let's move forward to the big shot or big scene, right, of this episode. So they get into Kansas City, a little departure from the game, but it's okay. And they get into this trap that we also find in the. This is almost taken out of the game, that we also find in the game versus the hunters. This is the guy pretending to be hurt, and Joe recognizes it, and he's just gonna run over him, which is what you would do in this situation. And then you get a little Colombian treat of breaking your windshield, and then you just crash, right? And then you got some nice gunshots and action scenes going on in this section, which it's great. Um, and I love this scene because it's Ellie's first taste of real violence outside the quarantine zone, and and you really get a sense of how dangerous this world is, not just because of the infected but also because of what society has derived to, and what this type of groups become, right? This is a group of, they call themselves hunters in the game, and they hunt people to take them their supplies and their belongings so they can survive. So basically everybody's just trying to survive, obviously, but some people are going into more let's say darkish ways of accomplishing that, and so Ellie gets to see that, and gets to see Joel in action, and we get to see Joel in action. Good shot, good aiming. I thought, and he gets jumps from behind, which can happen. He didn't hear it, he says, and he gets into a struggle, and Ellie has to come in and save him, right? So,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. Yeah. And that's my first issue with the with this
okay, go.
this that's my first issue with this episode because okay, this Joel, this, or at least this version of Joel, I think, or it, I believe they are portraying him like a little more docile than the one in the game. Or and here's why, and this is why I didn't like it.
What?
The
Docile?
yeah,
Okay,
no, but
go.
because Joel in the game is more. I don't know. He doesn't talk much. He just kill things and ask questions later. Here he does
He
that
does
as
that.
well. As well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
So,
does that as well. But my issue here is that I think the Joel in the game is even more violent than this one. And I understand, yeah, this can happen. They can grab him out of nowhere, but they already set up Ellie to save him much earlier than I expected. This happens in the game as well. There is a particular situation when she pretty much shot someone, but it's so much later. And because it's so much later in the game, or at least in the story, is setting things up so that Joel, as a more capable person, that obviously messes up eventually. But into Ellie's eyes, Joel is pretty much invincible. So she waits until the last second to help him. Here, she is already helping. So I didn't like that because I don't know why they did
but
that.
she also waits until the last second to help
Right.
him, and she doesn't kill him. So the scenes where Joel is struggling with this guy, and while Ellie decides to come in the room and decides to aim and then to fire, she fires in the back. It's long.
No,
Some may
yeah,
say it's even slow. So she's not. It's not like she was part of the fight at
exactly.
all,
Hmm,
because the first. Okay, so I just to come out of the gate, I don't share that view at all, because one thing that I'm seeing that I thought that you were gonna like, it's that the game is moving in terms of distance they have to go through. It's going faster than the video game already. So Kansas City is farther away from Boston than Pittsburgh is, and this scene that we get in the with the hunters in the game was in Pittsburgh. So they have to travel farther to their destination than they already did in that they do in the video game. So they are moving faster, at least in terms of distance that they have to travel already than the video game. So
hmm,
they are moving along uh, a little bit different. It's not that big of a difference, but they are moving faster in the at least in what they have to travel, right? And they went almost from Bill's house to the hunters in what something around 17 minutes of these episodes. So it
hmm,
was really fast. So it wasn't like the game where you have to travel and traverse and do the stuff. It was just like some quick shots. And now we're in Kansas City. Now we're with the so it's fast. So back to my point, I don't see a problem with Joe needing help, because most of the game you help Ellie helps Joel, and
hmm,
he's not perfect.
hmm.
And the scene was not built to look like Ellie is helping Joe,
Oh
or
no, definitely.
Joe needs help. The
No, definitely.
scene was made for to introduce the struggle of violence to Ellie. So Ellie
Yeah.
is new to violence, and we see that through what happens later in this same scene. She's struggling, she cries, she tries to wipe her tears, she tries to toughen it up, and Joel is gonna try to comfort her because he knows that how hard it is to kill someone, and he says, "You didn't kill it, actually, I did."
Mm,
And we didn't get to see how he did it. Obviously, he did it with the knife because we didn't
mm.
hear a gunshot, so he's already uh, saving some ammo, which great touch. But yeah, so I don't see that as Joel needs help or
Oh
Joel is
no,
not.
it's not that he needs the help. It's more like I hope they waited more for that.
Let me ask you one key question:
Uh,
Why? Why did you expected that to happen further along?
because I don't wanna start thinking what I wanna start what I
But you are already thinking, so
yeah, because
say it.
she already saved him. Now, why
That
not
happens in
wait?
the
Yeah, that happens in the game, but it happens
all the
when
time.
you get to the snow. Specifically, when she shot someone for the first time, is pretty much when he. I don't want to spoil anything. Uh,
Yeah, we're two episodes down from that point.
yeah, I say
Um,
I will be like 2, 3 episodes ahead of that. So, like in the game, happens much later, and they have a more deep relationship, I guess. But I just I didn't like that she already did that. That's it, pretty much.
so the video game is 40 to 60 hours.
Eh,
Let's say 40. Let's say 40 in the
mm,
shorter. This series on, as I am now suspecting that it's going to be part one of the video game, it's
looks like
only 10 episodes, each one top 1 hour. So it's going to be only 10 hours of summary. So it's already the fourth. If you just take the whole body of the season, this is the fourth chapter. So we're already in the 40% of this storytelling. So they don't have time to wait for her to see, this is my opinion, to see violence and to experience violence into
mm,
chapter 7 when
by
they are
by
in
but
Wyoming. That's almost building into the end of the, because if
yeah,
you're
but
in,
by that measure, it's not that she's not exposed to violence before. In
no, but she hasn't done it, right?
uh,
Because she hears has to kill, like, let's say, cold blooded, and she actually didn't kill him as Joe mentions, but he has to shot a person cold blooded to with the intention to kill, right? So
mm,
I don't know. I don't have a problem with it being in season and in chapter 4, because you have to take it as it is. This is chapter 4 of 10.
mm,
So in the time frame of this series and this season, it's okay, because chapter 6, 7, it's already too late, and we want to see a lot of, at least I want to see a lot of action, and we're building to that, and it's not believable that she's going to pass through all that action just moving doors and helping to move through obstacles like in the video game,
I'm finding notes and reading
finding
them.
notes, which this series doesn't have the time for it, right? You are not
Uh,
gonna find every note, so they are going to not have that. But so let's move on, and we can
yeah,
talk at the
because
end about
it gets better.
it gets better. I think you are projecting other fears into a series that has nothing to do with that fears, but it's okay. You are the original old man yields to a cloud. So
I'm getting there. You see.
you see, okay, so okay, now she has a gun,
uh,
and he gave her,
that's
so
okay. Uh-huh.
they move, and now we get introduced to, let's say, the villain, but she's not really a villain, but yeah, it's a pseudo villain.
Mm.
um with this character, it's called Kathleen, and she's the boss of this rebel group. So now this, I see that the problem coming, and we don't get introduced into the what why, but
uh,
she
yeah.
is in a vengeance. She's in a vengeance run against Henry and Sam, which are from the game characters. She's not from the game, but Henry and Sam are. And in the game, you don't get a lot of Henry and Sam background. They are just two
Yeah, they happen to be
people
there. Yeah.
happen to be there. You stumble into each other. Hey,
Yeah.
cool, you are surviving. We are surviving too. We're going this way. You're going this way. At the end, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna spoil it, but they're just two people, just like Bill and Frank were just two people in the video game. So the series is trying to expand into those characters a little bit. So Kathleen is giving a little bit of context to Sam and Henry's stories. They find people dead. They think that it's Sam and Henry asking for help. She's pretty pissed at Henry and Sam. That's pretty much what we get from all this. Scene. Cool detail, right? I don't know if you saw this, but this guy in the beer, you know
Yeah.
who he is, right? He's the
No,
act.
no.
He's the voice actor of Tommy in the video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the voice actor, and they said from the beginning that they were gonna do this of bringing original voice actors into some minor roles because this is a, I don't know, second, third character in these episodes. So they are gonna have like these minor roles, bringing some of those actors, just to pay like an homage to them and their work in their game. So I think we're gonna see him, and I guess we're gonna see Ellie's voice actress also like in a minor role in some way, shape, or form down the future. But yeah, just keep an eye for her. You know, she's blonde. She has you recognize her when they get to her. So now we see we're back to Joel and Ellie. A lot of bonding happening with them, talking about what happened with the violence, and Joel trying to help Ellie digest and telling her like his experiences and bonding, and you watch her smile. This is where she gets the gun. I jumped that.
I will be smiling too. No, no questions asked.
Huh?
I will be
What?
smiling too if I get a cant.
Yeah. She's happy. Now we see Caitlyn again, and this is a cool. They are looking for Sam and Henry. They find like a hideout, and then our beer guy take her. I think it's this is scene. Yeah, he takes her to this place where there is ground and it's shaking and it's moving,
Mhm.
hinting what is coming on episode 5, which spoilers you if you haven't seen the trailer, I guess, but it's a bloater, and
Hmm.
I'm very excited for that. So we're gonna have a huge mini boss encounter and a lot of action in episode 5. Okay, we have the stairs, whatever, more bonding. This is our bonding time to build this relationship between these two. Dark, a little bit dark here, and then they go to sleep. And in this one, they do,
Yeah, the shit joke was they nailed it.
yeah, and yeah, the jean joke, yeah, the jean joke was hilarious. So diarrhea is hereditary.
It runs.
It runs into your genes. It's so good. It's so good. You gotta love
Yeah,
it.
it's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, there's no way around it. But
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
okay.
That's it. Let me stop sharing and
That's
now
the episode
let it
basically.
let it out. What are your overall thoughts of this episode?
Well, I didn't like what I already mentioned, and there was other thing that I didn't like. And I didn't like this new character, the one that is the leader of this group. I
Caitlin.
don't, whatever her name is, I don't know. She can be, I don't know. She can be whatever. But for me, it's just Rose with a gun in The Last of Us, and
I,
from the
I
Two and a Half Men.
I thought that you were already warned. I told you. I think it was like when we were doing our second that she was
No,
coming.
I know she was coming. I saw her coming, but still, she's like, for me, it's just playing the same character. One, Okay, and that can happen, whatever. But my other issue is that you got this guy, the one that you told me that is playing the voice actor, the voice actor
from the game.
uh, from the game. Yeah, you you got this guy, beer guy with full jacket, I don't know, a freaking assault rifle and a knife. You got this guy that's clearly a veteran out of Desert Storm war, I don't operation, whatever. And you're telling me that she's running the group. I just
But you know why, right? You have to pay attention to the dialogues. It's
but
you.
no, but it's not.
You know why? Because they killed her family. So she's important because they killed her family, and most likely she started the revolution because they killed her family, and everybody is following her because they knew her family and they knew her, and so they are supporting her. It's not
Eh,
like you have to be like the I don't know. It's not like whoever is in charge is always the one who is better with guns, right?
well,
Because
no, but
don't know.
I don't know. I just don't buy her as a leader, and she clearly doesn't. I don't know. I get the feeling that she doesn't know what she's doing, or she's just rolling as she goes. And I don't, because she killed the doc. Yeah, I know the doctor. I'm like, you don't kill a doctor, especially in no matter what shit he has done, you just don't kill the guy because he's a doctor. He's a valuable asset or resource, however you wanna.
Yeah, and you're thinking it as I don't know. You're thinking it as like a cold-hearted, like I'm good, I have everything, and it's a doctor. You don't kill a doctor, but she lost her family. If I lose my wife and my daughter to some asshole who just gave information to where they were and they got killed because of that, I am not going to be rational. That's just how it is. And if I am in a vengeance storyline, as Ellie will get in the future, you don't make a lot of rational decisions, as she didn't in her future, as we will see. Spoiler. So without getting into spoiler, so Caitlyn, and again, this is just a, a character that is gonna be in these two episodes. It's just a 4 and 5.
Yeah, this
Um,
this is
it's just
another original character.
yeah, it's just to give context to the hunters group, which in the game you don't get any context whatsoever. Just they are just an obstacle which you just have to maneuver out of Pittsburgh, and that's it. And so they are giving context. It's not like she's gonna be a main character out after episode 5. She's gone.
Yeah,
Most likely she's
she
gonna be dead.
should be or out of the picture. Like, yeah, she shouldn't be involved anymore. And
No, no, well, what I have heard is she isn't. So it's not like they are building her up to be anything else. Just like someone who's grieving and he's on a vengeance spree, and this mob of people all have grief with her and all have grief in their own way, and they are just chasing some rats. That's what they are doing, right? So they are chasing people that most likely uh, rat them out and gave them out to the Petra, to the military, and they got killed. And now that they have overthrown Fetra, they are looking for payback. I didn't see like much to it. And it's I don't know. She gets some little screen time. It's not like the chapter spent a lot of time on her, which I liked because the chapter spent a lot
yeah,
of time in Joel and Ellie building a relationship and throwing puns. Uh, yeah, so if you sum the time she got, it's just too little to even matter. Even if you don't buy her as a character just because you see her as Rose from Two and a Half Men, she's she's a really small character in this episode. She doesn't get a lot of screen time. So let me ask you what I thought mattered the most in this episode is um, how how are you looking at Joel's and Ellie's relationship after this episode? If it's evolved, how it's evolving, Yeah.
Yeah, is has his good points. Obviously, he's a lot of pros there. The actors there, when when they get those private moments, I feel like I'm in the game, because he's someone teaching another one, an older person teaching a younger person, and the younger person as well trying to get to that hard skin guy, telling him that, yeah, I know, but not everything is as dark as you see it, or at least in uh, there's more colors in the world, more than the ones to just see on your perspective. So that's cool. So that's fine. I want to see what happens this Friday. I'm looking to it because I don't know where it's gonna go from here so far. We'll see.
So let me ask you something that was actually in my mind. Did you like the pacing of this episode?
Yeah,
Um,
the pacing was fine. I think I didn't feel the episode was long or dragging.
it
Yeah.
wasn't long. It wasn't long. I agree with that. I just thought it was a little bit. So I have a problem with this episode, which is with, but it's not with the story of with or with the characters. It's more with the format of today's series. So
What?
we don't have the constraints of the past in terms of, in the past when everything was just cable, you had to stick to a schedule, and you have a time frame to build your episodes, and you were doing that weekly, right?
Mm,
HBO as well as Disney has decided that they are not going to release every episode, and they are going to release them weekly, and which it's fine. I am not that millennial that I need to have everything right away, but clearly there are some episodes that are a two-part episode, and
mm,
this has happened before in many other series. This is not only from The Last of Us. This is, I think, a critique of how these series are being delivered. It happened to me recently, for example, in Andor and in others, where clearly the director and the writers are trying to tell a longer story, like in 2 chapters or in 3 chapters, but they have to split it in 2 or 3 chapters, not because they want to or because it serves the history, but because the framework of how they want to deliver the series is set up that it has to be weekly and it has to be maximum an hour or something like that. So they put these constraints that are from the past, not from the present where we have internet, to
mm.
the director, uh, and I think it's harming the story. So this chapter, it's actually a two-part story. It's 4 and 5. It's been directed by the same guy, and this guy had a vision
Okay.
of this, and he pretty much, this is my interpretation. He had to cut it in half, and this is what
Yeah, and
he did,
and the and
and
the
he's
and
doing
the
a great
end
job.
and the end was abrupt, like you were saying, because of it. Because you have this totally quiet moment between two of them, and I was okay, like, okay, here is gonna end. That's it.
Yeah, so
And
it's gonna end, yeah. And so the chapter is being done greatly. Good realization overall. Great actors. Maybe you don't like Rose, that's okay, but I think it would be better if they can just release, when it's a two-part, release both episodes the same night. I
yeah,
understand that you don't want to release like a 2-hour episodes because it's gonna be too long and people are gonna
yeah.
feel like, oh my god, this is dragging.
Most
Uh,
people don't like that. Yeah.
yeah, but you can release 2 episodes the same night.
Mm,
We are in
yeah,
the streaming service.
and it's up to you. You will do whatever you want to do.
Correct.
See them as, yeah, because I that's a good point, because I would have liked the episode to end with them laughing, and that's it. That was then you got this shot of setting up the next episode that we obviously know what's gonna happen, but it was totally unnecessary. I was like, yeah, we had that nice moment. Why just not leave it there and
Yeah, because
and
they are continuing the story, and this is
hmm
actually a two chapter. So what I think actually happens in production is that the directors just shoots everything, shoots both episodes, and then they in the edition they split and say, okay, we cut it
we
here. It makes
we gotta
sense.
cut it here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna make sense to what we're gonna start on episode 5, and okay, it's gonna make sense, okay, it's good. But if they release both episodes, this one as it is and then the other one, and we decide if we wanna binge those two right away, or maybe one day and one another, that's up to us, and that will make much more sense for the story, and you will appreciate this episode more, because I have seen a lot of discourse in the internet that this was probably the least memorable episode so far. And if you look at it, it's true, because I think chapter 3 was the most memorable. Chapter 1 and 2 was the world building and the death of Tess.
And this, because of it, feels like a filler episode. Like is setting something up.
Yeah, and it's not the fault of this episode. It's just the fault of that this was thought as a two-part episode, and they had to split it, and they want to do it weekly. So this is just, I think, a critique in general. Disney does the same thing too with Star Wars, and Andor happened quite a even worse, because in Andor you had some storylines that were 3 chapters, and
Yeah,
they
I heard that a lot. That
and
it
they
didn't
were
make sense.
and if you watch them completely or not, they are great. So
Yeah,
what they
makes
it,
sense.
no, even if the whole, to start, I think Under was the best season, the best TV show Disney produced and released last year. But it was great overall, and the only thing that was bad from Under, or that was not the good, is that they do not release everything right away, and this happened here too, and I wish that these companies understand that this is modern era, and if the director and the writers are trying to put a 2 episode story, 3 episode storyline, just release it, and we will consume it, and then wait a week or whatever to release the new episode. So yeah, it's weird for me, but yeah, I don't know if this is working for them. I don't know if this gets more views just to have them all weekly. I don't think so.
Well, it's more than that. It keeps the person there at least for a longer time in in subscriptions terms. Because if you pay once, you gonna yeah, okay, I got the weekend. I'm gonna binge this series and that's it. I'm gonna cancel my subscription right away. But with this format, people, okay, yeah, you can say, yeah, it doesn't last the month maybe, or it's gonna last longer, but at least it stays there in your mind, in the back of your mind, so you forget to cancel your subscription or whatever.
That makes sense. That makes sense up to a point. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, if your whole platform is depending on one show to
Yeah,
capture,
it's bad. That's bad.
that's bad. That's already you are starting in a bad way. So
Uh,
yeah, and I don't know if that's what happening with HBO right now. They don't have anything else, but maybe they're giving some time so House of Dragons can release the season 2. I don't know, but yeah. So this is like the main series going on right now on HBO. So yeah, they need to treat it better. But yeah, I think the episode was good, was fine. It was not the best of the 4 episodes that we have so far, but it was a solid episode. A lot of bonding time. I think this is the episode where we got more of that, as you said, a long time between Ellie and Joe, which I enjoyed, and I had a laugh with their jokes, and I'm looking forward to next episode. It's a lot of action packed. I think it's gonna be.
it should be.
Uh, it should be, especially if there is a bloater. I am looking forward to see what abilities this bloater has. I want to see that, man. It's gonna be intriguing. It's gonna be intriguing.
It's going to be something else at least, and I bet also maybe thinking on the Super Bowl, they're gonna try to go big to at least gather to keep the momentum and like, hey, let them rest on Saturday on Sunday
Sunday.
because
Mhm.
Friday is gonna be ours. Hopefully, it's gonna be something else.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So check it out Friday 9 Eastern time, and that's gonna be all for us today. Yeah, so don't forget to follow us Instagram, Twitter, yeah, YouTube, yeah, Spotify, yeah. You can find us at Only Feelers. Share this content. Share, please, the our website so more people can join the community and we can grow better. We are getting uh, to do stuff like that we want and to share with you guys. So share it with someone that you think is gonna enjoy this content and follow us at Only Feelers in all of those platforms, and we will talk to you when we talk to you. Yeah,
All right, everyone, take care. Thank you for listening. Have a good night or day.
or day. Bye bye.